Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Refounding Fathers podcast. I'm Levi.
I'm Ryan.
And we're joined here with Michael, a.k.a. Boogaloo Mike.
What's up, guys?
Oh, wait. And a warm welcome to our FBI agent.
Always a warm welcome to him. So, there's been a lot going on recently. We're all shitting our pants.
I mean, first off, Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah.
Happy New Year, guys.
As happy as it can be.
2020 is the last year.
Everyone who said this was going to be their year, unless you work for the military-industrial complex, you're probably wrong.
You know, Raytheon's making bank right now. They're all happy.
Oh, dude. I told all my guys this. Next time a war starts to break out, I'm investing in Hesco, and whoever makes the those cardboard, what do we call those?
Oh,
the cardboard things that we would deliver shit back and forth.
Oh shit, what do we call them? They're,
Kickers.
Kickers, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way to go. You want to make some fucking bank, invest in them.
I'm going to be investing in Raytheon Base Systems and Lockheed.
That'll work out for you. But before we delve into the shit show that is 2020 so far, we're going to start on something that we really liked.
Yeah.
Which is kind of strange for us, but we saw something that we really liked.
From Hollywood, no
From
less.
Hollywood.
Yeah.
The elite. So, this well-known British comedian, Ricky Gervais, was the host of the Golden Globes last night. And this dude got up on stage and literally tore the Hollywood worldview apart.
Oh,
It was
beautiful.
hilarious.
Honestly, he said a lot of things that were like funny, but he meant.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of, because he had like a whole 8 minutes before the actual awards where he kind of monologued, and it was great. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite parts is when he was asking everyone when they come up to get their award, thank their agent, thank their God, and get the fuck off the stage. Because they don't know anything, not to use it as a political platform, because they don't know anything about what it's like to live in the real fucking world, so they don't even get an opinion on it.
I think he said, and I quote, y'all probably went to school for less time than Greta Thunberg, so don't spend any time up here.
He's like, it's already a fucking 3-hour event as it is, so I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, he just wanted to go home. He didn't want to be there.
But
he's super liberal, but I agree with some of the things that he said.
Well, that's the thing, is like, whether you're liberal or conservative, you can agree with what things the other party says when they when they just talk sense. If he's talking about gun control, I'm going to be strongly opposed to that.
I mean, there's
But when he
of us
tells
agreeing with him.
But when he says, y'all don't know anything about the real world because y'all live in your ivory towers in Hollywood, then yeah, I agree with that. Don't try and push your worldviews on me because, again, they're the elite. They're just going to be saying what makes it better for them.
And I think he kind of put them in their place a little bit, because on a couple of things that he said, there was a little bit of booing or a little bit of like owing, like they weren't laughing, or the room was kind of quiet or whatever. But on the occasions where you could tell he was getting like a negative reaction from them, he literally just told them to shut up.
Yeah.
He was like, no, shut up. Like, this is my time, and I'm trying to tell you how it is. I'm the fucking host. And I don't think Hollywood people have to deal with shit like that often.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Like, someone just told all the major stars in Hollywood basically to go fuck themselves.
And can we talk about how Tom Hanks is a fucking pussy?
Yeah, did you see his face?
He was like, meh.
Like,
I'm better than you, Ricky.
There were people laughing their asses off, and I enjoyed that. Like, when the camera panned around, you saw some people like really just enjoying it, because I mean he's a comedian, so he was also just being funny, but some of it was definitely true, and you could tell. But some people were laughing their asses off and having a good old time. But fucking Tom Hanks had this like constipated face.
It was like someone shitting his Cheerios.
Yeah.
Someone like had just gunned down his dog in front of him, and like USA Today was like praising him and his reaction to all of it. They're like, the top 10 moments in the Ricky Gervais speech that we go like praising Tom Hanks. Like, the dude's an asshole.
Yeah. So what if he played some characters in a kids movie? It's a fucking movie. He's a goddamn actor.
Yeah, that's
He's
his
here
job.
for our entertainment. I don't go to my entertainer for political, financial, or world advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially considering how wealthy these entertainers are.
Hell.
They have no understanding of political, financial, or world advice.
At this point, we don't go to politicians for political advice.
Yeah, like, we've gotten to the point where everyone's fucking out of touch unless you're
I bet you none of them
a normal human being.
I bet you none of them even know what a fucking W-2 is. They've never done their fucking taxes before. They have someone do all that shit for them. They have someone cook their food, mow their damn lawn, clean their house, and wipe their asses. They don't know anything about the real world.
What taxes? You know for sure that they just donate a picture they had someone draw up for them to a museum that they got appraised for millions of dollars, and that's their tax write-off. Boom.
Yeah,
I pay no taxes this year.
That is actually how that works.
Oh, I'm sure.
All the retarded art.
Oh, yeah.
Like a lot of the retarded modern art where it's like a single fucking line across a blank canvas, like that's worth $6 million. That's a tax write-off.
They paid the fucking artist $1,000 to draw it, and then they're like, "Oh, it's worth this much," and they had one of their expert buddies say, "Hey, yeah, it is worth this much," and they're like, "Hey, government, it's worth this much, and now I don't have to pay taxes."
Yep.
So yeah, they are way the fuck out of touch.
Yeah.
I mean, I pay more taxes than that whole room combined.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a rough thing to think
I
about.
thought this was supposed to be starting off on a light note.
Oh, I mean, it was starting off on a light note, because I would like to, I would kind of like to congratulate, not that my fucking opinion matters to him, obviously no one's fucking opinion mattered to him.
From
and
a
that was
working
pretty
class,
Yeah.
from one working class hero to one Hollywood elitist. Good job.
Great. Yeah.
You earned the Refounding Fathers seal of approval. For now.
For now.
Don't talk about guns.
Like you said, y'all don't know anything about anything, so shut the fuck up.
Just keep ragging on Hollywood. If you keep doing that, you'll probably get super famous. Because
So
that one stunt got him so much publicity.
Oh,
And
yeah.
here's the thing, is he can rag on Hollywood because that's actually something he knows about.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's what, I mean, he's probably in better standing to rag on Hollywood than I am. Because he knows more fucking what goes on in Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
I like to rag on Hollywood from my perspective. To some extent, I imagine some of it's worthwhile. But I can't say I know what the fuck's actually going on over there. And hopefully never will.
I cannot believe he hurt my boy Leo like that, though.
Hey, I'll be the first to say Leonardo DiCaprio is a fantastic, fantastic actor. He's a fucking retard in real life, though.
Oh, yeah, and he dates young.
That's what he ragged on him for. He was like, yeah, The Irishman was so long that by the time it was over, Leo's date was too old for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, like, he reamed Hollywood a new fucking asshole, and it took him 8 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
Oof.
good times.
So
Congratulations on that one. I will
Thank
commend
you, Ricky.
I will commend you, Ricky, for that entire performance.
Yeah. I would like to see Count Dankula host. Something like that.
Dude, they would not give him a platform if it was worthwhile to them.
No,
So, like,
no.
You could give them billions of dollars, and they'd be like, nah, he's not allowed to speak.
Yeah. I would love to see that would make my life, honestly. That'd be like Coulter Wall playing Ruby Ridge.
Oh, man. Man, I was hoping he would. Not that I think he even knows that song, but
Probably not.
that would have been the best concert in the world.
But he did play Big Iron,
He did.
and that was
Coulter Wall's Big Iron was pretty sick, and
It was.
the whole crowd was like pissing themselves with excitement.
You liked Coulter Wall's Big Iron?
we went there.
I see. So
All right, so we're gonna move on to the real purpose of this podcast.
this is an emergency podcast. We're doing this now because it has to be done in a timely manner, because this is about to happen.
And we have like 4 podcasts backed up waiting to be uploaded.
But this one's going first.
This one's going first.
We can't not put this out because it's too time sensitive and relevant.
We gotta put this one out so we can get our stances made before they film Band of Brothers 2.
Oh, no.
Jeez.
The sequel no one asked for.
Yeah, so in reference to what we're speaking of is, I think it's almost obvious at this point, possible war with Iran. But I think we might want to backtrack to January 3rd.
Okay. So, basically what has happened is the United States has an embassy in Iraq. I personally don't believe embassies on foreign soil are American soil. I believe they are, let's just call it an ambassador's hotel.
Yeah.
It is a place that the American government rents out to house their ambassadors. That land is not American soil.
No, you can call it whatever the fuck you want, but it doesn't make it that.
No. If I build my house on your property and you want to kick me out, my house being there doesn't mean that I own that property.
Yeah.
So okay, you want to cover it?
Well, I guess I won't go, because I actually didn't know a whole lot about the situation before that. I know what happened from the 3rd forward.
Michael, can you pull up the dude's name, General Dude?
Oh, yeah, give me a second.
Just so I don't mess any of these details up.
But we're going to butcher the name anyway.
Oh, yeah.
It's not easy to pronounce.
Yeah. So, there have recently been a lot of anti-American protests in Iraq, and this Iranian general basically organized a attack on the American embassy in Iraq. I don't know a lot of details about that. I don't think anyone got killed.
I think people did. I don't think it was a lot.
Okay, so this pronunciation's a doozy. It's I'm gonna say it how I think it's pronounced. Qasim Soleimani.
Okay.
That sounds.
Yeah, that looks like Qasim Soleimani.
General Qasim Soleimani.
So I know the Soleimani part because I've seen that on the news, but
yeah.
his first name I don't know.
Okay, this general is literally beloved by the Iranian people. They adore him.
He is an icon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's our version of General Mattis.
Yeah.
Or he's their version of our General Mattis.
Yeah. Yeah. So our Iraqi embassy gets hit, and apparently this man has been organizing it. So naturally, the first thing you do is bomb an extremely powerful military's general that is beloved by an entire country into a pile of goo.
So that's what happened on January 3rd. I don't even want to break this down the way that I was about to, because that was going to be a bad thing. We let a bunch of people know around us that we were going to bomb this person before the United States Congress knew we were going to bomb this guy. We told, which I guess to some extent makes sense because they're relative in the location, we told Israel we were going to do this before the fucking United States government knew we were going to do this. I think that's kind of overstepping. That's our military doing something we need to fucking know first.
The president should not be able to authorize strikes like that.
No.
Without congressional approval.
But he did this thing. They were on a convoy, and he drone strike the convoy and killed the general, and probably I saw the pictures of the vehicle. Other people died too.
Yeah.
And this, like we said, this guy was a fucking icon to these people. You can't do that without getting some kind of backlash. And I think the backlash mixed with President Trump fucking tweeting provocative shit constantly since it's happened is potential for war with Iran. Like, not even potential. Like, I see war with Iran happening versus it not happening. Whether or not there's a lot of memes and a lot of funny shit going around right now about it. Whether it'll turn into World War III or not, I have no fucking idea. I can't see that far in the future. But I do believe this is going to create a violent conflict with Iran.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and Iran is not the wars we've been fighting in Iraq or Afghanistan. Because in Afghanistan, we had a total of roughly 3,000 casualties, and we've been there for 20 fucking years.
Yeah.
This is not that.
Yeah, this isn't a terrorist organization.
This is
A legitimate nation.
This is a legitimate nation with a ranking of military power. Its rank is 14th out of all nations. They have cruise missiles. They have helicopters. They have fucking destroyer ships. They are armed. This isn't fucking around with some towel heads in the middle of the desert.
Yeah.
I
This
wouldn't go
is-
as far as to call
this
them
is
peer
war.
forces, but I'd say very near peer.
I
Yeah.
would say that they are a first world country in several locations and developing second world countries in the rest of Iran.
Yeah, they have a first world country's government and military.
Yeah.
And economically, some of their portions, I mean, there's a lot of poor people over there and stuff. So I would, yeah, like you said, consider that certain regions of that same country are in the developing country.
So, in 2002, the United States military ran a computer / live training exercise to figure out how a war with Iran would affect the U.S. military. And the casualties within the first 3 days were 20,000 American soldiers.
Yeah.
Because the first thing they did was they took out a fleet of American Navy ships. A fleet, including an aircraft carrier. They took out 10 ships within the first 3 days and killed 20,000 people with cruise
Using-
missiles.
Some of the things they were using were cruise missiles, but they have a lot of very small patrol-like boats that you can use. I mean, look, we're not going to sugarcoat this. This is extremist Islamic country. They have a tendency to kind of abide by jihad kind of mentality.
Sometimes they blow up.
Sometimes they blow up, and they're willing to do shit like that. So what actually ended up happening in part of the simulation that took out half of the fucking fleet that was taken out was boats that were too small to be picked up on fucking radar, drove at full speed loaded with fucking explosives and just smashed in the side of a ship and sunk it. Like, that's the kind of tactics we're looking at from an actual organized military. So they've got cruise missiles and the fucking jihadist mentality where this will be like fighting fucking Japan
Yeah.
Yeah.
in World War II.
Well, and a lot
This
of-
will be, they will die for every square inch
One
of that
thing
land.
a lot of people fail to realize is whether or not you agree with their religion or not, Islamic cultures hold on to things very hard.
Yeah.
They're still pissed off about the first crusade. Like,
That means it was pretty effective.
they are pissed off about that. And that was how many hundreds of years ago? Thousands of years ago? And
It was 1,300, so...
Yeah, 12.
and if they're still holding on to anger from that, how mad do you think they are about their beloved general being blown up?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they've got the anger and the willingness to do something about that anger, and that's one of the things that makes them dangerous, regardless of their weaponry or what they have. They're
This is-
willing.
Don't take this as a threat, but if Russia drone strike General Mattis right now, we'd be over in Russia in 6 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Iran's response of being pissed off is not unjustified. My thing is yeah, they attacked Americans in a foreign country that we should not have been in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah, people like to say this whole, oh, well, they hit us first and blah, blah, blah. That was necessary because they did the first thing. No, they wouldn't have done a fucking thing if we weren't there. If we had left the fucking region alone and stopped meddling in affairs that meant fucking nothing to actual national security, it wouldn't be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But no, now, what we like to do is go on these 5 to 10 year cycles of, oh, a big incident happened, let's move in really hard, and then over the course of 5 to 10 years, the conflict will die down, and so will hot-headed emotions. And right when we're in a time period where we could pull out everybody. We could have not a single U.S. citizen on foreign soil. We do something stupid like this and rile the fucking... We rile the whole nation up.
Kick the hornet's nest.
Yeah. So now we have to be over there. Because now it is actually a national security threat.
No, they were about to pull out of Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
The timing is impeccable.
It's almost like
It's on
someone
purpose.
fucking planned that.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous. We have had so many fucking opportunities to leave the hellhole over there, but we will grasp at straws for reasons to keep people over there. And don't even get me started on the fact that we shouldn't even have ambassadors physically in countries. We live in a fucking modern world. You can call someone on a goddamn cell phone.
They have the most
Like-
advanced video conference systems known to man. They could just fucking pull it up on their 75,000-inch TV in the Oval Office and be like, yo, man, what's up?
Yeah, like, you don't need... the reason ambassadors and shit were important is because in a time where communication was not quick, and sometimes, you know, depending on whether it was way back when, you're waiting on a letter to go across the ocean and it takes 3 months, or you're waiting on a telegraph, or, you know, some shoddy form of communication that has a huge delay period, the ambassador was there to make decisions in place of the president and the government.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need that anymore. So we don't need someone over there. We should fucking pull... It's fucking ridiculous. We should pull... We shouldn't have a single U.S. citizen in the Middle East. It shouldn't be a thing.
Unless they're a tourist, because then...
Yeah, I mean, sure, you know, I'd be a tourist in
But
these
as far as,
fucking
as
dangerous
far as
countries.
government employees doing official business, they should be over.
But if you tour in the Middle East and something bad happens to you, that's not the responsibility of the United States government.
No, it's your fucking fault for going
No.
over there. You're a grown-ass person.
Yeah, you knew that this was a dangerous region. You fucking moron.
Well, it's like that couple that went bike riding
Oh my
through, it was like Iraq or something to show how peaceful they were, and they got fucking raped and murdered.
That's,
And everyone was like, oh my gosh, that's so... What'd you expect?
That's just natural.
What did you expect would happen? It's like if I went into a bear's den while it was hibernating and tried to snuggle with it, like, oh, I'm going to show the world that this bear is actually friendly, and it rips my arm off and beats me to death with it. Like, what do you actually expect? This is not some utopian world that you think we live in. It's not a peaceful place.
Yeah, this is a very strange part of, I guess, human life, where we're quote-unquote in peace.
Yeah.
That is not normal.
No.
The majority of all humanity has been death and horrible things. So I can't imagine why everyone has become so displaced in their mentality to believe that, like, no, everyone is good all the time.
Because they haven't seen it.
No, because most of the people that are saying that, they're making $70,000, $80,000 a year or more, living in a nice house in a suburb in America. Their food's always on time. The mail comes every day. The internet's always working. When they flip the light switch, it turns on, and everything is perfect to them. But then they step outside into the real world, and they see things that make them unhappy. And so what do? They go back into their little cave. They get on their computer, and they just start writing messages online and complaining. And then you get enough of them that get connected with the internet, and they meet up in places. They have protests and riots, and politicians get elected, and they think people are helping them. When the world is not your friend, the world is out there. It's going to destroy you if you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, every human being in the world is 3 meals away from committing a felony.
Everyone...
You will kill people for your hunger. The thing is, people don't go hungry around here no more.
Yeah.
Listen, everyone acts... And I'm not trying to downplay this. I'm not trying to throw light on atrocities and anything like this. Everyone's always so upset about the Holocaust and the Soviet gulags and the 20 million people Stalin killed.
Or Mao killing 50 million of his
Yeah.
people. And
Genocide is not a random event. Genocide is humanity. That is what humans do. Humans commit genocide. That is the norm. We are breaking from the norm in this brief period of time that we call democracy. How long is that going to last? I don't know. But genocide is the norm.
We've already
Yeah.
passed the point where we've been a nation longer than Rome has been a nation.
Mm-hmm.
And civilizations and nations aren't meant to last this long.
No.
And the only reason we have lasted this long is with technology. But that's like putting a Band-Aid on an arterial bleed. Maybe it looks like you slowed some stuff down, but it's boiling under the surface, and eventually it's going to erupt.
Yep.
yeah, shit can get real bad real fast, and that's kind of what sucks about this peace that we're in right now. It's making everyone weak. It's making people forget. every human being has a dark side. Every human being has the side of them that they keep hidden, and because they don't see other people's dark side, they don't understand. Like, how did this school shooting happen? How did this happen? That is totally not, it's not good, but it's totally fucking normal. Everyone has the potential to be a Hitler, or a Stalin, or a Mao Zedong. We are all fucking horrible people. Or at least we all have the ability to be fucking horrible people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we kind of got a little sidetracked on that one.
Back to war with Iran?
We do not want this.
Yeah.
We do not want this. We should not be involved in this. It's dangerous. And we're going to send a lot of fucking people to die. If this does kick off, we're going to send a lot of fucking people to die over something that no one needed to die over.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone is still going to fucking back the president. Everyone who's backing the president is still going to after. And that's what kills me. They're going to be like, oh no, this needed to happen. I elected him so that he could kill assholes like that. Well, why don't you go fucking kill him? Why don't you go become a citizen in that country and you go fucking kill him?
Yeah.
Because it's not your job to make decisions for an army that doesn't need to be somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you're sending thousands of people to go fight a fucking war that didn't need to exist, and you should feel like shit. You should feel responsible for all of those deaths. Mm-hmm. Personally responsible.
Yeah, you should be... The people who support it should be the people going door to door giving the letters.
Mm-hmm.
To
No, I'd go one
families.
step further. The people that support it should be the ones out there pulling the triggers fighting.
Oh, yeah.
But, no, we'd rather send our fucking young. Oh, I know all the politicians and all the people, the majority of the people voting are like, fucking old people or people in the middle of their life, maybe not old, but somewhere along the way. They're the ones making the decisions for the fucking fighting age males to go do.
The young people will always bear the burden of fighting the wars for the old.
And then the worst part is, most of the time, the old people who had a quarrel that started the war don't even end up dead. It's like two people said they hate each other, and then they send a bunch of young people to kill each other, and both people still end up okay.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. If you want this war, pick up a fucking gun and go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, by yourself. Or with whatever weird clan of people that you put together to go over there. Don't
drag me into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want this war. I'm so close to being out. Like, if they stop-loss my ass, I'm going to lose my shit.
Or worse, if you get out and then you're still in the inactive reserves for a few years and you get called back.
I still got 2 years in active reserve.
Yeah.
Like, and they're going to call me back for your bullshit fucking war? Go to hell. This isn't World War II. This isn't World War I, where there was an actual decent reason to go to war over shit. This is stupidity.
Or decent reason.
Like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
This is people swinging their dicks around, and they don't understand that every time they do it, they're throwing human lives.
Mm-hmm. We're just numbers on the TV screen to them.
Yep.
They put up on the screen, okay, 400 Americans died today, and you're like, oh man, that's so sad, and maybe you lower your flag for a day or so.
Listen, I joined to defend the Constitution. I didn't join to defend a political agenda.
Yeah, because those are very different things.
Yeah.
And look at the reasons we go to war nowadays. Industrial complex.
Yep.
And I hate to be the one to say that because I used to be all about, oh, no, we're doing this for the right reasons. No, we're not doing it for the right reasons. You got Boeing, Raytheon, Bay Systems, Lockheed, Lake City, all these manufacturers, FN, SIG. Like, they're opening plants in the U.S., and the congressmen are like, oh, man, if they open a plant and stay in business, I can get reelected because of the jobs I'm bringing in.
Yeah.
And then they get a war started so they can make sure they keep these jobs coming in. Then they master the war as, oh, it's patriotism, it's good for you, it's keeping the country safe. How is us being in Afghanistan keeping us safe right now? Let's put on pause for a fact that 9/11 was an inside job. Let's say 9/11.
I prefer 9/11 was an upside job.
Yeah. Let's say 9/11. Let's say it was legit. Let's say that without any involvement from the U.S. or Israel or foreign powers, 9/11 just happened. That some fucking terrorists decided, hey, we're gonna go and attack the U.S. Okay, then I agree. We need to go to war because they attacked us. But we don't need to be. The people that did 9/11 or had anything to do with it, they're all dead now. We've killed every military age male since then. And all the people that are fighting now are either old farmers who never had anything to do with it, or they're young kids that have been radicalized to hate the U.S. because we come over there, we bomb their countries, we kill their women and children, and we just destroy things. Like,
yeah, I mean, the whole. I don't want to get too deep down the rabbit trail of 9/11 conspiracies because I wholeheartedly believe, and there is factual evidence open to the public to say that Saudi Arabia was the sole proprietor of that attack.
Mm-hmm.
So, out of all things that we should have done after 9/11 is we should have turned Saudi Arabia into glass, but we can't do that because they have all of our oil.
Yeah, and we have a strange relationship with Saudi Arabia.
Don't get me started on the whole fucking oil thing, though.
I don't really understand exactly what all's going on over there, but they get a lot of money from us, whether it's individuals or their actual government. There's a lot of money exchange between individuals and the government there, and our individuals and our government. And I think it's not bordering on sketchy, it broke straight through sketchy. We're on, like, there should be federal investigations on this shit. No, there should be private investigations on this shit, because we can't fucking trust the goddamn federal government to regulate themselves.
The federal government has investigated itself and decided that it is innocent. Thank you for your participation.
Yeah, like, imagine being put on trial and you were...
You're the judge for yourself.
You were the judge for yourself, you were the jury for yourself, you were the victim, too. Like... You got to determine the entirety of what was going on. That's exactly what happens when the federal government investigates itself.
Yeah.
And they'll take some low-level peons, say, oh, this guy, he did this bad, and oh, this guy did something bad. They'll throw away a few low-level people that they don't give a fuck about. It makes everyone feel happy about it. Like, oh, some bad guys got put away. When in reality, the people pulling the strings, they're all sitting in their seats of power still.
Yeah,
no one's been for the past 60 years.
No one's been arrested. Ooh, that brings up another thing. No one's been arrested for the Jeffrey Epstein case, but today...
Oh, so I don't know if it happened today or a couple days ago. I saw it today. A good banker buddy of Jeffrey Epstein, I can't remember what the name of the bank was, but he worked for 2 different banks in high-level positions. And
the foreign banks, I assume?
Yeah, I believe they were foreign.
Probably Swiss.
He was good friends with this guy, and this guy lended him against company policy because they were lended in such a way that there was no promise of return and a bunch of other shit. But they lended him
Jeffrey Epstein.
They lended Jeffrey Epstein, or he lended Jeffrey Epstein, $60 million that we know about. They're investigating because they believe it's more, but he was up for an interview with the FBI to see his involvement with the case because they saw some discrepancies in numbers and all this shit, and they were like, that's looking sketchy, we're going to investigate you. Well, he hung himself.
Oh.
Funny how that works.
It's hilarious how that works. The stranger part is, there are like 2 fucking news outlets that are speaking about it and posting it in the sense that it was related to Jeffrey Epstein. However, all the major media sources, like fucking CNN and all those other asshats, have been saying, because I guess President Trump also knew this guy, and he had lended President Trump money during his younger years, I guess, during some of his projects and shit. They're trying to say that, well, this banker has some kind of collusion with Russia, and now we found out he knows President Trump. They're still on this fucking Russian collusion bullshit, and they're completely ignoring the pedophile sex cult, satanic pedophile sex cult, that has actually been on all of our minds. The things we want to fucking know about, they don't even give a shit.
Well, I think the problem with the Russian collusion is that I know that there's no Russian collusion. You both know there's no Russian collusion. The government knows there's no Russian collusion. They're using that as an excuse to pit the 2 sides that people think their side is the best when it's really just the same side of or a different side of the same coin.
I'm playing both sides. That way I always come out on top.
Well, yeah, they're pitting these 2 sides. They're like, oh, Trump was never with Russia, and then the liberals are like, oh, Trump was with Russia. You're getting these people at their throats over something that's not even fucking true. You want to know the truth of it, is they wanted Trump elected, he got fucking elected, because you don't get in that position anymore based off of the votes. You get in that position based on if they want you there or not.
Yeah.
And it's just a pawn right now to divide the country. It's a beautiful plan, actually. They got the
It's
country
working
completely
amazing.
divided, and while the country's divided, you got all these states throwing in their anti-2A laws, and you got us going back to war now, we're going with Iran. You got all this bullshit going on, and yeah, people are noticing it, but they're also more concerned about, oh, man, Trump's with Russia, or Trump wasn't with Russia, or who's running against Trump, who are you going to vote for? It's all a fucking lie, people, and you're being told this just to keep you in submission so that the real elites can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, because you should be focused on the fact that that banker had some relation to Jeffrey Epstein, and not whether it had something to do with some fake fucking Russian collusion bullshit that no one gives a shit about. Like, I don't even care if Russia influenced our fucking election with ads and all this other shit like they're saying they did. Holy fuck, it was still human beings making their own choices to go out and vote.
Mm-hmm.
Go fuck yourself. I'm sorry you weren't as good at influencing people.
And it's not like we haven't influenced Russians' elections since the fucking Cold War.
Yeah, like, we're like freaking out about other people doing shit to
It's
us that we've been
50
doing
years.
to them. Well, the fucking CIA has been doing shit like this since it started. Since it was the fucking OSS.
That's like if I killed and ate someone and then Jeffrey Dahmer's like, did you see what he did?
Yeah, like, we're fucking around right now. That's all we're doing. It's like the whole world is just a big goddamn game to these people. And they're just, like we said, with the fucking war shit, it is. It's just a big fucking game. They move their fucking pieces around on their chessboard, and the other guy moves their pieces around on the chessboard, and hundreds of thousands of fucking people die, and at the end they shake hands and go, good game.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Good game, we both got rich.
Yeah, we both got rich, and none of us fucking died.
We all got powerful.
Ugh. People just need to... I don't even want people to open their eyes anymore. I want them to fucking close their eyes and their fucking mouth and then plug their fucking ears, and I want them to go just jump headlong off a bridge. Like, y'all are killing me. Y'all are doing stupid fucking shit, and it's because you're seeking knowledge in all the fucking wrong places, and it's making it worse. At this point, people who knew nothing about politics are better off, because maybe they won't vote. Maybe they won't go out and fucking influence these elections and do stupid shit. Because all the information you're receiving in this fucking mass overload is just making you more retarded. And it's... I totally understand where fucking authoritarian people come from. Because they're right in one sense. Y'all are too goddamn stupid to govern yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can agree with them on that. But the difference is, I think... you're so stupid that you should be allowed to govern yourself so that you can fail and leave the fucking gene pool.
Hell yeah. That was a good rant.
Sorry. Okay.
I think that summed it up.
No.
Damn phone keeps falling out of my pocket. I think we're gonna a couple things we can go on here.
We done with Iran then?
Yeah, I think that was Iran.
Do everything you can to petition against any type of further involvement in Iran and the Middle East. Because if we go to war with Iran, we're all going to die.
Yeah. It'll cost way more lives than everyone thinks it will.
It's going to cost more than we ever thought before, because now you got all these people that play fucking Fortnite and post TikTok videos, and you're going to send them to fight?
Well,
Fuck.
I don't know. I would definitely send them over just for their personal morale, because if you get clapped from a Black Hawk that's blasting Billie Eilish, and then someone runs over and does a Fortnite dance over your body, that is demoralizing.
That's true. To be defeated by the people in this country right now would be demoralizing as shit. Because they would do that kind of stuff.
Dude, you see how I yeeted that guy?
When the Black Hawk lands and you hear them yell, "Unleash the Florida men." The what?
The what?
The who?
We have a battalion of Florida men.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Riding alligators.
They can just drop all of Florida's prisoners in Iran. They wouldn't know what to do.
They're in the helicopters to give a dose of bath salts and just jump out, no parachute.
Oh, that's something we should touch on briefly. Your army should be able to do drugs, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, I mean, you should be able to do drugs. I guess it goes back to our libertarian sense.
You should be able to do
If you
drugs.
haven't hurt anybody in training and all that other shit, I don't give a fuck what you're doing. But the army should be able to do drugs because you know who would be awesome at just violent fucking action? Someone hyped up on meth. And they would have some crazy fucking tactics and ideas. They would go to town with some weird shit. And you would not be able to predict them.
I don't know what happened. They just started airdropping cactuses with grenades inside them, and it's just. And then he jumped out riding an inflatable unicorn and said, "Bon voyage, bitches," and just. I don't even know, sir.
I think I think we send people over there to do shit, and it's worse than being at home. It's worse than being at home in a shitty situation, because when you're over there, like, your whole fucking life is governed. You really don't have a lot of choice. I mean, it sucks because you can't crack a fucking beer.
You can't decide when you're going to eat.
Yeah, you can't decide when you're going to eat. You can't crack a fucking beer. I think it's absolutely ridiculous. When my grandfather fought in Africa forever ago, they were literally issued a glass of wine per meal, even when they were in the field. When they weren't in the field, they could do whatever the fuck they wanted. They could get totally plastered. So when you're back at base and you're R&R for 2 or 3 days, you can get fucking wrecked. And then when you go over, you're still given a glass of wine per meal. Just something to fucking, like, calm the nerves and keep morale up. Stuff like that needs to come back, because morale's at, like, this all-time fucking low where now everyone just goes to their fucking rooms and dicks around on their phones.
I was in plenty of firefights over there where I wish I could have had something to just calm the nerves a bit, because it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, dude, like, it really fucking amps you up. Like, even before the bad shit happens, when you think bad shit might happen, you're, like, sitting there and your hands are starting to get shaky, and you're, like, the tunnel vision starts to kick in. You can, like, see the effects approaching.
It's not even that you're scared, it's just that your adrenaline is going so high, you're getting ready to fight, that you just start freaking out. You can make mistakes then.
Yeah, because your fucking caveman brain is the one making all the decisions at that point. You're kind of not even in control at that point. When bad shit happens, you just go and you go on a fucking autopilot, and your body does the things that you were trained well enough to remember to do. Oh, okay, we're doing shots now? Jeez. I didn't realize I was missing out. Alright, so what was the next topic we're going to go into?
Dude, Jack Wilson or government charity?
Let's talk about Jack Wilson. That's a win for good people.
Yeah, that was a win for good people.
Mm-hmm.
So this happened relatively recently. I'm pretty sure everyone's heard about this by now.
It was like December 30th, something like that?
Yeah. So, dude bro walks into church in Texas, in rural Texas, like a dumbass.
Bad idea.
And he pulls out a shotgun and starts shooting people. He hits 2 people, walks 2 feet.
And then my man, motherfucking Jack Wilson.
Jack Wilson. Fucking boomer FUD dude. With an irrelevant gun.
Fucking claps this motherfucker from 50 feet away.
In 6 seconds with a headshot.
In a room full of screaming, running people.
I will have to say everything about this event was a little strange. Not the fact that the good guy stopped the bad guy and he stopped him quickly, but all the other things. It was like you said, like straight up boomer FUD dude with a gun that, like, I have never heard of anyone personally carrying this. It's like one of those guns you have in the safe kind of a thing.
He was carrying, I believe it was a
SIG
P229, chambered in 357 SIG.
So the thing is I'm not saying this changes the legitimacy of civilian being able to carry. He was an FBI agent during the time period when that weapon was issued.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he was trained on that.
He was trained on it, and he had a firearm training school.
He ran a school.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, honest to God, that's. I'm not saying everyone should run their own fucking school. What I'm saying is everyone should be trained up like that if you're going to be carrying a gun.
Yeah.
I recommend that you be that skilled, because you can drop the fucking bad guy in one shot to the fucking dome.
Yeah.
Like, that's the goal of carrying guns, is to be fucking precise, surgical with them.
We need to name that guy Michelangelo because he painted the roof of that church.
Yeah, and then 7. Here's the big, like, anti-gun rhetoric is that, if everyone has guns and an active shooter happens in an enclosed space, everyone's going to open fire and there's going to be more casualties than a mass shooter would cause. Well, at least 7 people were counted to have pulled guns after the first round goes off.
And they were tactically maneuvering.
Yeah, and these aren't like, I don't know how trained they are, but these aren't like young kids. These aren't cops.
I do have some information on them. They had, what do you believe about politicians aside, Texas Governor Dan Crenshaw passing a law you can carry in church now. That's something that's been creeping by state. It's illegal. It's legal in
It's
Georgia
not a
now.
law I would abide by anyway.
Yeah.
That's a hot
But
spot
it
for
was legal.
terrorist activity.
And so, well, what I'm talking about is that was a catalyst because the church knew this guy. He was one of the deacons. Jack Wilson was a deacon of the church. And they knew that he ran a firearms training school. They knew he was FBI. And so they approached him. As soon as it was legal, they approached him and said, hey, we need you to put together a security team. And so that's what those 7 guys were. They were part of that security team. Mm-hmm. They were people that just carried regularly. He didn't hire people. They weren't hired guns. They were just church citizens that they all had guns. And he went up to them and said, hey, I know you carry guns. I know you're going to be carrying a church now. Will you be part of the team? And so he actually put them through some training. The church actually said, hey, can you do some pro bono training for us? And so he put them through some courses. So they knew a little bit about what they were doing.
That's pretty sick.
That goes back to the point, though. Be fucking trained because they were trained. And you can see them actually tactically maneuvering through the aisles. They were dispersed evenly throughout the church.
Yeah.
So,
and as they were moving up, it was funny because, like, I might have seen an instance or two where someone was, like, kind of flagging people. But there wasn't a single fucking bullet fired. Like, that was a best case fucking scenario of... Well, I think it's a normal case scenario. But, like, when people try and put fear in your mind about, like, oh, if everyone has guns, bad shit's gonna happen all the fucking time because, you know, people don't know what they're doing and all this other shit. That was an example of this can go perfectly fucking well. Even when your adrenaline is fucking pumping and you just watched a guy get his fucking head plastered all over the wall, that's a traumatic experience. Your adrenaline is definitely fucking going. There was no fucking bullets fired accidentally. There was none of that bullshit. It was just, oh shit, everyone pulled their guns after the fucking dude hit the ground and they moved up to make sure he was fucking down.
Their OODA loop was running. It was observe, orient, decide, and then act, and then loop again. So that's what they're doing. They observed that there was a threat. They oriented, they decided, and they acted. And they didn't act rationally. They acted normally. The way they were trained to do, the way they're supposed to do. So get some fucking training, people.
Yeah, definitely get training, but the thing is that saying that those 7 people who carried guns all had training can be used as a weapon because they can go, well, okay, well then untrained people can't carry.
Yeah, that's something you gotta be careful of.
I don't know, man. I've seen shootings of untrained people pulling guns and murking the bad guy and no one else getting hurt.
Well, I guess some...
I would rather possibly be in danger because someone was trying to save us than be in a shit ton of danger because nobody can
because
save
here's the
us.
point. You're already in fucking danger at this point, so what's a little bit more danger added to it?
Yeah.
You can take a look at the UPS truck driver shooting. The police were supposedly well-trained, and that's what the government's always telling you, is, the police they're highly trained in weapons. And these guys were feet away from the bad guys, and they still managed to kill the hostage, and they shot every inch of that fucking UPS truck. I mean...
And killed civilians.
And killed civilians. And this fucking dude,
2
Jack Wilson...
civilians.
In this church, he was able to, in a room filled with civilians, arguably more than were the immediate area on that freeway, was able to place a precise shot on a minuscule target. Whereas the police couldn't even fucking do that right. And they were closer.
Yeah, they just lit the whole fucking thing up, and then they did. They killed 2 civilians. They killed a civilian, because... What is that? Like, have y'all ever been in, like, the hunter safety education courses and shit?
Yeah.
Okay, I had to do that. I can't remember how old I was. I was pretty young.
Yeah.
But I had to do that before I could hunt. And I went to that, and one of the most important things they talk about is if you can't see the fucking target...
Or what's beyond it.
Or if you don't know what's beyond it, do not fucking shoot. You might hurt somebody. That's like fucking step 1. But they didn't give a shit. You can look at the fucking pictures and you can see they had guns pointed and almost 180 degrees on this vehicle with shit tons of civilians around, and then everyone just mag dumped. Mm-hmm. Everyone just, once they heard a fucking gunshot, everyone just fucking opened up. And these are supposed to be the trained people. Mm-hmm. These are supposed to be the people you trust with your life.
As far as I see it, the citizen that was armed is more reliable than the police force that is paid, trained, and supposed to be the protector.
Yep.
Yeah. Because it all comes down to this. No one else is responsible for your fucking safety. Only you.
People don't like to hear that, though.
Sorry.
Damn shame.
That's
You're responsible. You, the person hearing this, you are responsible for your safety. I'm not. You're not. You're not. The police department isn't. The fucking government sure as hell isn't. Your wife, your son, your daughter, your husband, whoever the fuck else might be close to you. They're not responsible for your security or safety. You are, whether or not you like that.
Yeah.
And you know what I am responsible for? Letting you know that it's your fucking responsibility.
Yeah. Treat every second of your life like there is no police force for you to call.
Mm-hmm.
Because realistically, cops only investigate crimes. They don't prevent them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the only crimes cops prevent is sitting on the side of the freeway and stop people from speeding.
Not paying taxes.
Taking all the homeless people's
yeah.
signs and then making them into a blanket.
Oh my god. That one.
Made my blood boil. Because they were proud of it, too.
They were. Nope.
That's
Fuck that guy.
That is the definition of fucking protecting the elite. Oh, these fucking scummy homeless people are over
poors.
here. Go take care of the poors, police. Police force, please go take care of the poors. I can't stand seeing them. Like that's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
What happens if you're fucking homeless? Like, what do you do if you're homeless and there is no kind of benefits or anything that you can pull from? What do you do? If this is public land, I'm fucking allowed to be here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I should be able to, at least to some extent. I mean, even WMA property has a couple of rules about it, but they're very lenient. I can live on WMA property, which is a wildlife management area property. I can live in WMA property for 14 consecutive days in one location. Then I could pack up and move 100 meters and live for 14 consecutive days there too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how public property should be closer to. Because there's fucking homeless people. There's people who have nowhere to be. There's people who don't have cars to live in. And even the people who have cars to live in don't have places to park them because Walmart will call the cops on you. Like,
Well, I don't have such a problem with that because Walmart is private property. But
no, and I understand that. But, like, there's got to be there has to be a place for these people.
Yeah.
If there are homeless people and there is public land, there's a place for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what boils my fucking blood on topics like this is, did you know that churches, because I used to be a part of a very, very big church,
Mm-hmm.
and I always thought, like, with all the homeless people, especially in the Atlanta area and all that stuff, why doesn't this church offer, with especially the amount of money that this church makes off of, tithe and all that other stuff, why don't we offer this as a place where homeless people can be sheltered? That's illegal. You can't do that. You are not allowed to do that. It's like, oh, we have all these people that we have no idea what to fucking do with. We'll just arrest them for being in public land and, asking for money from passersby. But if anyone tries to house them, you're going to jail.
Hey, you got the cops a break though. They're trying to go home to their families.
Oh yeah, they're trying to go home to their families. So is probably the fucking homeless people.
Mm-hmm.
The homeless people don't even have a fucking family to go home to. They're just trying to not die.
They want to bring their family to a place that they can call home, which is their spot in the woods or under a bridge.
Yeah, because there is so much fucking, like, next to highway land that is completely unused and owned by the actual government or whoever fucking
They
paved
own like
the highway.
100 yards off the highway.
Yeah. Why the fuck can't they live there in the woods off the highway? I have seen...
It doesn't do me
instances-
any harm when I'm driving down and I see their tent. I don't give a fuck. Fucking stay there, dude. Fucking
No.
go, Big Hoss.
Honestly, like, fucking hell yeah. You're making it. You're surviving in a tent off the side of the fucking highway, like, fucking eating berries and twigs and shit. Like, dude, I don't give a shit. Whatever you gotta do to get by.
Yeah.
But no, arrest them. Go to jail, go direct to jail.
You know why? Because, and I'm not saying like there are professional homeless people that like all pitch in to buy a house, and they all, like 20 of them will go out and beg on the side of the street. They make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I don't agree with that. Someone who is really downtrodden, who has lost their home due to whatever, either poor choices or the government fucking them over.
Or other people fucking them over.
Or other people fucking them over. Legitimate homeless people have had to adapt to become harder men.
Yeah.
And the government wants to keep harder men in chains so they can't stand up for themselves.
Well, you know what one of the big problems is that the homeless people are getting money and the government's not getting their cut. I think that's what it always boils down to, is if the government getting money or not. Because if they're not getting a piece of it, then they're fucking pissed.
Oh, so...
well, because that's one of the other things that, like, absolutely kills me. They don't want you to survive or live somewhere if you're not paying taxes.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that I am so angry about constantly. Every time it crosses my mind, I lose my shit. Property taxes.
Yeah.
We don't own any piece of property that we buy. We rent it from the government. So if you wanted to buy a plot of land and then go live off of it, well, you better have some other source of income because you got property taxes to pay for. You're not allowed to just go buy this property and live there. You have to make money because the government has to receive their cut.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, anything that you think you own, you don't. You rent it.
Well, now that we're talking about charities and taxes and homeless people and the government, I think it's a perfect, what we call a segue in the professional showbiz to the governments and charities.
Okay.
So staying on the homeless person topic, you've got homeless shelters that are privately run, and I am fucking all for those. I've donated food to them. I'll collect canned food.
I've worked for them.
Yeah, and I'm all for that, because you know what that is? That is me, myself, making a conscious decision what I'm going to do with my money that day. I'm going to go help someone. Whereas if you got the government-run Section 8 housing and unemployment checks and all this bullshit, they're taking your money, they're not giving you a choice of what to use it for, and they're like, this is what we're doing with it. Okay, so you're putting it in this complex that's riddled with crime, and I could take that same amount of money that you're putting to that, and instead of letting you decide, I could go to my local homeless shelter and be like, hey, here's $5,000, buy a Christmas dinner for everybody here. Mm-hmm. But I can't do that. I mean, I can, but I'd have to still pay the tax to the government, and they're going to misuse my money somehow.
Yep.
Or better yet, here's money, expand. Go to a homeless shelter and give them money. I would like them to have better conditions, or I would like there to be more living space. I would like there to be more food.
Yeah.
I'm specifically trying to increase the living conditions and the scope of people that they can reach with this money. But no, we as a country would so much rather just give this money to the inefficient government to throw it away on mostly absolute bullshit in their bureaucratic, shitty system that wastes hundreds of thousands of dollars every time they try and do something.
Yep.
I'm so glad all my tax dollars in Georgia are going to giant slabs of steel that they put over potholes.
Oh my God.
You want to know how you're in Georgia?
If the road is made out of metal or not.
Yeah. Is the road partially made out of inch-thick steel that when you hit it with a car, you feel it almost like it's a pothole?
It's still covered with asphalt that they could have just poured in the hole in the first place.
Oh.
Dear God.
Oh my God.
Oh, never change, Georgia. Oh, wait, I said that wrong. Please fucking change, Georgia.
You know, we're about to turn blue.
Okay, don't change that way, Georgia.
Like, I'm not a Republican.
We're about to turn blue because of one fucking city in the entire goddamn state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, gerrymandering.
Well, maybe two. Savannah's kind of a...
Yeah, a little bit.
They've got SCAD and all that.
Ugh.
Scat.
Yeah.
But
Savannah
thanks,
and Atlanta.
thanks, gerrymandering. Here's how the Electoral College should work. They should take the entire country and a giant clear piece of plastic that has perfectly dimensional grid squares on them and just slap it on top of the country, the map of the country. And that's your district now.
Mm-hmm.
And if your district isn't a full square, you're on like one of those weird spots that only got a little bit, like coastal places, then we give you the next place right next to you that is a partial square as well, as long as it doesn't equal more than a full square.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, really fixed that problem.
Holy shit, we got rid of gerrymandering. Come on, guys, come on.
It's so easy. There's so many problems in the U.S. government.
It's easy, but the problem is that the government wouldn't benefit from that.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
exactly the problem
That's the point.
we address every day.
They would-
That's the point, Sergeant.
I don't want the government to benefit from anything.
No, but the government wants to.
Yeah. That just goes back to self-regulation. Oh shit, these people who don't have our best interest in mind are the ones governing themselves and making their own rules? There's no way that could go poorly.
Hey, you want to plant crops in your front yard? Too fucking bad. The government allows certain people to plant crops in their front yards, and then they take money from those people.
You want to know how bad people want government? Not the federal government, not the state government, not the county government. People want government so bad that they're willing to pay homeowners associations to fine them if they don't do a certain
Yes.
thing.
Oh my god!
This is super funny to me.
Oh my
because
god.
we have a lot of, or when I used to live with my family there, we had a lot of cars. My dad's a car guy, and we had a lot of kids. So every time a kid reached the edge where he could drive, that's a new car. So they gotta buy a car and park it somewhere, right? We got so many complaints and fines for not parking properly because we had too many cars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry you wouldn't let us build an extra garage because they also dictate what you can do there. If we could build an extra garage and lay down some extra concrete, we would have done that. But
Oh boy, your house isn't the right color. You're getting fined.
HOA says we can't do that. So we gotta
Yeah.
park in this. We live in a cul-de-sac. It wasn't even in the street. So when we would park on the corners of the cul-de-sac where it wasn't bothering anybody, some fucking cunt asshat would call us in every time because it was a complaint that caused the investigation, quote unquote, and we would get fined all the fucking time.
And you know
for that
it
shit.
was always the neighbors that you were quote unquote close to.
I think we knew which neighbors it was. I'm not gonna get into that one, but we had one neighbor that's like actually close with us, and it definitely wasn't him. I think it was the other one that really peace, love, and happiness people too, which is kind of funny.
Peace, love, and happiness as
Peace,
long
love,
as
and
it's for them.
Yep, peace, love, and happiness for me, but not for thee.
Yep.
Like, why would you pay a non-government organization to dictate what your property has on it?
Well, at least I'd rather pay a non-government organization
I mean-
than a government organization.
Because everyone's so fucking worried about their property values. They're more worried about their quote-unquote fucking property values decreasing or increasing or whatnot than they are their own ability to use their fucking property how they want.
Yeah. Like,
Is that not a fall? Like, if you look at where this country started and where it is now, or if you look at property where we started and property now, how have we not fallen from the original intent?
you should be able to build a horse barn, let alone a pigeon coop, which is against, I'm pretty sure, every homeowners association.
Yeah, we
in
can't have
America.
chickens.
Yeah. You should be able to build a horse barn on the half acre of property you have, even if it is a major inconvenience. I don't know why you would do that, but you should be able to do it.
My horse barn takes up half my yard.
Yeah, like, you should be allowed to do it. Yeah, it's inconvenient for the neighbors, but you know what they
Fuck
can do?
'em.
They can move.
Yeah.
They can get
No one forced them to move there. They chose to, just like you chose to. You should be allowed to choose what you do in the place that you choose to live.
Yep.
If that makes any sense.
And I don't even know, like, how does HOAs work? Like, where's the authority there? Where does that stem from? How can they fine you?
Because it's an agreement.
Yeah. I guess
not-
it's something you sign
Mm-hmm.
when you move in.
Yeah, they
That,
get
like,
it
I
notarized.
agree
They get it
to-
notarized saying, "Hey, he agreed to this. He agreed to pay this
Yeah,
much,"
they
and
can,
then
they can hit you with civil suits.
yeah.
Oh my fuck, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But the thing is people are looking for the people who don't want HOAs but live in them wanted a decent place, and they found a decent place, and they're like, fuck, this is a decent place for the price I wanted to pay, and I can't find anything else, so we're gonna move here. And now you're like, you got all the things you wanted, but it came with this fucking horrible price, and you kind of felt like you didn't have a choice. You did, but you kind of felt like you didn't. That's where the stupid bullshit comes in, I think.
Yeah.
listen, people, stop moving into places with HOAs. HOAs should fucking die. You should stop moving in. You should stop signing that paper that literally tells them they have the right to sue you over what fucking color front door you have.
Purple and green only, nothing else.
Yeah.
But we have gone completely astray from the things we had written down.
We covered some important things.
Oh yeah,
We definitely covered some important things, and I like where that went. It was a little, it was natural.
This is a good one. I think we everyone spoke freely and it flowed good.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we can cover that won't completely? Oh no, we actually did cover everything. Interesting. Okay, so I guess we can just bring this to the tactical section then.
Yep.
The quote unquote super tactical gray man.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna let Mike lead the charge on this one.
So this is just something that, and man, I'm so guilty of this at times. Partially, I have an excuse. I do work at a gun store, and we cater to the more tactical side of gun things. But you get all these people, and it pisses me off. They come in, I see all these people all the time. They're wearing their 511 pants, their combat boots, their tactical shirts, and they're open carrying the latest and greatest Gucci Glock and a outside the waistband Safariland thigh rig holster, and they're like, "Yeah, man, I'm an everyday carrier." Or you get the people that maybe they can still carry, but they're still wearing the tactical bomber jacket with the patches on it and the hat that says tactical shit on it, like gun manufacturers, and they got the tactical pants and the boots on. You can spot these people from a mile away, and I'm like, "Man, what gun are you carrying?" They'll be like, "Oh, how'd you know I was carrying a gun? It's concealed." Like, huh? Well, it's because your clothing screams, "I carry a gun."
Yeah.
And this is a good tip for everyday life, but I'm also kind of pointing this towards whether or not a Boogaloo ever happens or the fucking stock market crashes and just anarchy erupts, like fucking total societal collapse. If you're out there walking around with clothing that screams you're carrying a gun or you're prepared, you're going to be attacked. And I guarantee you're not nearly as prepared as you think you are.
So there's two sides to that argument. Mm-hmm. There's this guy's carrying a U.S. military rucksack through the woods, trying to go live off the land or whatever, because there's nowhere else to live. So half the population thinks, "Oh yeah, well, he's going to be the first one to get hit because if he has anything remotely military camouflage or camouflage in general, they're going to be the first one attacked."
No.
Because they're probably carrying weapons or at least valuable things. The other side says, well, you can also buy a multicam backpack at Walmart, and half of the U.S. population owns at least something in camouflage or something that looks semi-tactical. So that line of thought may or may not be exactly correct.
Well, yeah, and there's, like you said, there's two sides to it. Like if you're going out on a raid, then yeah, if you're expecting contact, then yeah, I'm gonna be rolling out with a plate carrier, my rifle slung on my chest, pistol on the open carry holster for easier access.
Yeah.
But if I'm just out doing my normal thing, you're not gonna know that I'm carrying a gun, because when I'm out in society and I'm out in the world just now, I'm wearing jeans, tennis shoes, and a nondescript t-shirt or polo 90% of the time. And you're not going to know. You're going to be like, "Oh, I wonder which one of them's carrying a gun." You're not going to know because I want that element of surprise.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and that's the thing. A lot of people say stuff like, "Oh, well, because I'm carrying a gun, criminals won't target me." If your gun is visible, you might shut out certain criminals, the low-risk criminals. The ones who are like, I'm not fucking with that kind of shit. I'm trying to get an easy hit. That's why I'm stealing purses off 90-year-old grandmas.
They're going to be the ones that are never going to kill you in the first place.
Yeah. The people who are looking to kill you, or don't give a shit if they kill you in the process, are the ones who are going to see that and go, I'm going to plan accordingly. I see he has a gun. I could probably fast walk, catch up with him, and put my fucking hand on his gun.
Or
I could remove his ability to control his own firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
or I could shoot him first and then start with my attack.
yeah, like, I could shoot him first. It totally depends what kind of crime you're talking about. I mean, you could be walking through a kind of sketchy part of town where no one really gives a shit. They're all looking after themselves, whatever the hell's going on. And someone walks up behind you, and before you even hear the footsteps, there's a bang, and the front of your head is bleeding. They put a fucking round through the back of your head, and now they have your wallet and your gun. If they're a high-risk taking criminal who are the ones who are willing to do the bad shit, the real bad shit, they don't care. And then they're going to plan accordingly. They're going to be like, oh, look, a fucking gun. I'll make sure to hit him way more aggressively. I would rather people think that I am somewhere in the middle. I'm just physically fit enough to where they're like, a physical altercation could be a pain in the dick, but I don't think he's got a gun or a knife. So if they do try something, they're not very well prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they say that I'm somewhere in the middle of the ground, so I'm not going to go after them.
It's Tactics 101, element of surprise.
Yeah.
That's
the great thing about being a short dude.
surprise to be on your side. Yeah, if I was going to mug someone, I'd be like, oh man, you look like the perfect target, and then bam, you pull out that little 22 Derringer. No, but like, criminals are going to act like that. They're going to go for the easiest target. But if they end up going for you, and they don't know you have a gun, and you pull that gun out, your likelihood of surviving is a lot higher than if you were open carrying and they just decided to cap you anyways. Yeah. Concealed is concealed, people. Like, carry concealed.
Yeah. Carry concealed and don't look like you carry concealed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dress accordingly.
I mean, be a normal fucking human being.
Yeah.
Don't this is the one thing that I guess people are gonna shit on me for this one. Like, because you carry a gun, don't let that be your personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, quit trying to swing your dick around. Quit trying to make everyone know that you're a fucking army guy or a Ruger carrying person. Quit putting the fucking bumper stickers. Don't display that.
I carry a gun every day, but I dress in normal civilian clothes, and I like Star Wars, I like going to movies, I like going out to eat, and I like drinking, I like having a good time. I just act like a normal fucking human being, and most of the time people are like, if they find out I have a gun, they're like, man, you carry a gun? I never thought that.
Yeah.
I've actually had that happen a few times. The old job I used to work at, I carried a gun there every day for about a year, and then one day, I bent over, my shirt rolled up, and the butt of my pistol stuck out, and my manager was like, is that a gun? I was like, yeah. They're like, how long have you been carrying? I'm like, ever since I worked here, like every day. And they're like, huh, I didn't know that. And I was like, fuck yeah, I did a good job.
Yeah. That's the goal.
And it does. It just comes down to gray man.
Speak softly, carry a big stick.
Yep.
Yeah. President Trump, we're looking at you. Speak soft.
Please
speak softly.
Speak softly, and that big stick you're carrying is unconstitutional, so please make the military
Speaking
militia.
softly applies to assassinations of first world leaders. Just because you have a big stick doesn't mean you need to use it.
But also speak softly. Please quit
Yes.
fucking provoking them with your goddamn tweets.
Billions and billions and billions.
All right, guys. So
Yeah,
I think
we're
we're
gonna call that one.
Yeah. So this has been good. Please do whatever you have to legally to like petition the government, call your local representatives, make sure that they know that you are not on board with any type of confrontation with Iran, because, you know, in the words of Luke Skywalker, this is not going to go the way you think.
But for real, though.
Yeah.
It won't.
So, yeah.
Well, this is the
Refounding
Refounding Fathers, joined here with Boogaloo Mike, signing out.
Yeah. Push the fight, pray for freedom, question everything, even us. God bless.